Okay, hola, ¿cómo están? Me llamo Xerxes. Husky asked me to do that, so blame Husky. Anyways, so everyone, welcome to our round one, group two, round one here at Circuit of the Americas, located roughly 30 minutes outside of Austin, Texas, or more specifically, Elroy, Texas, which I have had the pleasure of visiting myself. So we have an exciting grid today for a nearly full grid actually for round one. So really good turnout from everyone in group two. I honestly would have raced, honestly, but yeah, as we have John Wick or Waits. And it looks like we have Viper Eyes. Which pre-race who has said that he has stated that this is his best track, so hopefully we'll see a maybe a potential pole position from Viper Eyes today, maybe if he could string a lap together. The coach as well, who has now the full-time seat in the McLaren. Seabird, who will be commentating Group 3 later on today, so make sure to tune in for that later on today from Seabird. Bono, a Group 3 driver, hoping to see his pace today. Kendricks as well. Vacant, our Group 1 manager. Sneaky Rob, a Ferrari driver. Edge, our Season 5 Group 3 champion, has moved up to Group 2 now. Had an unfortunate final preseason race at Qatar, but now this is where it fully counts now. Husky, who said the orange filter, he can go fuck himself. Anyways, let's go ahead right on board with the McLaren of John Wick as he is about to start his lap. Let's go ahead and hide the UI as we go for a little lap, guys. So going up into turn one, braking at the right side of that black box, going down to fourth, down to third. Careful back on throttle. Fully flat here. And make sure you get that entry right and cut these S's as much as you can to get a beautiful entry into sector 2. High elevation changes, 25.4 there for weights. Nearly going out of the track limits, managing to keep the car within the track limits. Now approaching turn 11, bringing at the right before the 50 down into third gear. But now crucial exit coming out of turn 11 as it goes on to a very, very long back straight. Now approaching sector 3, braking right before the 100. Usually you'd be able to cut that curb a lot more. 103.1, so really really affecting Waits' lap. Now probably one of the most difficult braking zones here at Circuit of the Americas, where you have to be moving under braking. Now approaching turns 17 and 18, long high G-force right-hander, keeping in line, keeping the car all the way to the right. Turn 19, another corner where we might see some track limit invalidations. Now approaching the final corner. What time will Wait sets a 33.6. So that is the benchmark for everyone to match, as Viper is 33.9. Australian looks like he had invalidated. Coach coming to the line, I believe, 34.3. Australian now beginning his lap. Seabird 34.6. Looks like Sticky Rob. No, actually it's Jimbo coming out on his first lap. Sticky Rob 34.5. Edgy 33.6. So now starting to go back down into the mid 33s now. hoping to see if maybe he'll be able to snag his first pole position of this season. As looks like Husky, Windows 35.3, Speedy 34.3, Husky 35.4, down in P10, Simply Lovely gets in there, mate. Malk 35.5, Fusible Orange 33.7, putting it up there for Red Bull. Now our striding approaching 16, 17, and 18, I mean. About to go through 19. Will he keep the car within the track limits? Yes, he will. Ozan's 34.3. Now coming across the line, 33.6 for our striding, putting him P9. Go ahead and follow along with Luke Tourette. Looks like he has invalidated his lap. Kendricks looks like he's started his lap actually. Just going to follow along with Kendricks here, approaching the S's. Setting a purple sector 1, 25.7, so a potential flyer here for Kendricks. Getting a really good exit coming out of the high, really big elevation changes. Going down to second gear for turn 11. Looks like he didn't get the best exit, but making the best of it, obviously. Now approaching the turn 12, one of the hardest braking zones here besides Big Red here at Circuit of the Americas. 103.8, so already down 7/10 already, so not carrying that sector 1 lap time into sector 2, but now going through about to go through 17 and 18. High G-force right-hander in that Haas. Braking for 19, keeping within the track limits. Yes, he will. See what time Kendricks will execute. Now coming across the line, sets a 34.9, putting himself P11. So really good stuff from Kendricks, putting himself P11, who originally had the Red Bull G2 seat, but due to some issues, he wasn't allowed. Husky improving by less than a tenth. 0.08 of a second improvement. Viprise coming out for a second run. Alexis currently on the lap, actually. Going through turn 19. Barely keeping the car within track limits. Let's see what lap time he was going to execute here. Coming across the line. Set a 33.7. 0.2 up on his teammate Viprise, but less. Slightly over quarter of a tenth away from P3. Let's go and see that gap between. Whoa, am I seeing that right? Weights 33.601. So 1/1000th of a second separating Edgy and Weights here in round 1 of Group 2. So 2 potential championship contenders already showing their quality pace already. So really good stuff from Waits to improve his lap, as it looks like Kendrick's 33.697, improving by 1.2 seconds. Really good stuff from Kendrick's. So hopefully we'll maybe see some improvement. Now going along with Alexis, looks like I don't think he's on a lap, I don't believe so. See the sector time. I don't believe Alexis is on a lap. I don't believe his fuel light is on. Yeah, no, he's not on a lap. Coming into the box. Let's go ahead and follow on with Viperize. Up 34 hundredths of a second in Sector 1. Let's go ahead and follow along with him for the rest of his, hopefully, improved lap here. Approaching turn 11. Going down into second. A lot of drivers going down into second. When mostly you can take that hairpin in third gear and get a decent acceleration off the corner. So a lot of drivers going down a gear extra. A lot of drivers not even cutting that crucial part, as Viper is a purple sector too. So a potential flyer and a potential provisional pole here for Viperize with only nearly less than 7 minutes remaining of qualifying here at Circuit of the Americas. Keeping that car within track limits. Bono 33.7. Now coming across the line. Viperize 33.374. Provisional pole position for Viperize. So a potential first pole position, but Edgy up a tenth on his lap. What time will he say? Sets a 33.362. So narrowly edging that pole position. Extremely close between Edgy and Viperize for pole position. Really close between those two. It's going to follow along with Vacant. I believe he's on the lap, but no, it looks like his ERS is flashing. Who said a 33.6? No, he's not on the lap. So R Shining 33.1. Where did he gain that time? 1.4 seconds improvement. As Windows 34.1, putting himself P12. Speedy cutting the grass, being speedy. Speedy doing speedy stuff. As the coach, let's go and see what his sector time will be. Sets a 26.0, already down 2/10 in sector 1. Now Seabird, 34.682 at the moment. Going for a second run here. Looks like he used too much of that curb. So potential, not a very good lap already from Seabird, using too much curb in turn 1. Looks like we have a spinner, an AlphaTauri. It looks like to be Edgy. It's out of fuel. Seaver already up a 10th, 25.6 in sector 1. John weighs 32.8, so we are now starting to go into the high 32s. Where has he found that time? That's my question. Jimbo currently P11, 33.8, and validates his lap at the last corner. The coach has also invalidated his lap. Looks like he's had a bit of a spin from what I believe, but going for another lap. Seaver now approaching the final corner of turn 20. See what lap time he will do. Sets a 34.3. Slightly under 3/10 improvement, but still does not improve in terms of position, staying in P16. So this is going to be very interesting, especially with this grid, more than half the grid. being into the 33s. Less than a second separating the top 11. So really close field spread here in round 1. Everyone now starting to come out for their final runs here. Looks like the coach is up on his lap. See if maybe he can go up into P14 maybe. Following along. Now about to go through 17 and 18. Two very crucial corners, especially to get that stable line. The coach really pushing those track limits. Now coming across the line. What time will he set? Set a 34.7. Not an improvement though. A lot of drivers now starting to come out for their final runs here. Let's go and see if maybe we can go on with Vipers maybe. Actually looks like Ozan's currently on the lap. Sets a 25.5 in sector 1, 2 thousandths of a second. 200ths of a second up, I mean, my bad. 2 down, I can't think right now. Now, heading onto the back straight, exiting turn 11. Very crucial corner. Let's get right on board, actually. Looks like Waze has retired, is really confident that his lap time will get him pole position. Kendrick's already down. He's already invalidated. So that's it for Kendrick's. But Fusible Orange has not invalidated. So hopefully we'll see an improvement from Fusible Orange here in these final couple of seconds here in SQ1. And it looks like he's abandoned his lap. He's abandoned his lap. Following with R Strating here, who will be starting alongside Waits on the front row here for round 1 in Group 2 here at Circuit of the Americas. As everyone now who has crossed the line will not be able to set a lap. Seaver 34.392. Fusible Orange does not improve. Kendrick has been disqualified, so he will officially be starting from the back. Speedy has decided to retire. Are shredding down a 10th. Bono saying a 33.2, 5/10 faster. Edgy. 3/10 up at the moment. Edgy, let's go and see if maybe he's able to carry this time through Sector 3 and maybe push for a provisional pole. Now going through 17 and 18. Now approaching turn 19. Vindos improving to a 33.5, putting himself P6. Now will Edgy able to sneak pole position? Yes, he will. 33.799. Improving by nearly a whole 10th away from Waits. So Edgy improving and coming up clutch in Group 2, Round 1. And that is it. Edgy, our group Our last season, season 5, Group 3 champion is on pole position here at Austin, Texas, here at Circuit of the Americas. Real quick. Actually, I gotta check something real quick. Check that sector time. What the hell? 25.7, 33, 37.1, 33.3. Oh yeah, I can do that. And this is your starting grid for the United States Grand Prix. Edgy starting on pole position alongside Waits. R. Strading and Alexis starting on the second row. Bono and Viprice starting on the third row. Vindos and Sneaky Rob the fourth row. Rob, Vacant and Fusible Orange starting on the fifth row. Ozan and Jimbo starting on the ninth row. Looks like it is a dry race. It looks to be a dry race here in Austin, Texas, as it usually always is in real life. Very sunny and not sun blinding on that back straight going towards turn 12. Anyways, let's go and get your predictions in chat for your race podium. Actually, not gonna ask for race winners, but who do you guys think who will be on the podium? As we are about to start, actually, yeah, formation lap. I forgot. Yeah, we actually have formation lap this season, so finally a chance to for the drivers to get their tires up to temperature. Let's go see what tires everyone is starting on. Edgy John Wick, Edgy Waits, Alexis Viperize, all starting on the hard tires, while everyone else besides Seabird and Kendrick starting on the softs. As Jimbo and Vacant have both been disqualified, most likely for making small amount of contact, as that can happen, as he's been disqualified from the formation lap. As Edgy approaches turn 17 and 18 on the formation lap. Oh yeah. Just go and see these comments real quick. Tommy making mad predictions here. Now everyone's starting to line up on the grid for these 28 laps of Circuit of the Americas, one of the most iconic circuits in the US besides Sebring, VIR, Watkins Glen. There's a lot of drivers getting disqualified for not being in the not lining up correctly. As we are ready for 5 red lights. And 5 red lights, and it is lights out, and away we go for round 1 here of Group 2 here at Austin, Texas, Circuit of the Americas. Waits being a little bit patient there, moving up the inside. It's nearly a big spin there from Edgy. Now there's an Alfa Romeo 1-2 leading into turn 2. So Waits being a little bit cautious there, wanting to make the move into turn 1, but not being very audacious there. And it is a VSC, as it looks like Windows has spun off of turn 1. Ozan has been given a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting. So a chaotic start. So basically, Seabird also, he's made up 10 positions from P16 all the way up into P6. How is that even remotely possible? I have no clue. Is this man goated? Anyways, VSC currently at the moment for Windows, who have spun as we go back to green flag racing here in sector 3 now. Oh, Circuit of the Americas. Bono now chasing R straighting here, hopefully to work together and maybe get the full 44 points, including the fastest lap point here for Alfa Romeo. So R straighting going from P3 all the way up into P1, capitalizing on that big send that Waits wanted to do going into turn 1. Mind, those two are on the medium tires and mostly on similar strategies. One of them will have to sacrifice the other to get this right, or maybe start building the gap. As for Edgy, he's already thinking long term, starting on those hard compound of tires, hoping to go late into the race. As like we have a spin, Seabird has spun and Husky has retired. That a VSC, a potential safety car here. Maybe a potential safety car. So already chaos ensuing. Already not even 5 laps in, only 2 laps in. So our first retiree of the season is Husky in the other Williams, as we go back to green flag racing. These guys back here, Speedy, Jimbo, Mac, and Vindosh, all by themselves, as Bono, the two Alfa Romeos, have already built a gap, 3.3 seconds to Edgy. So if Edgy waits and the two Mercedes of Vipers and Lexus can work together to pull away, then this is going to be really good strategy-wise for the hard tire runners, as Waits sending it up the inside. Small amount of contact there between Edgy and Waits, but Waits getting the move done into turn 1. Good move from Waits, but he does have a big gap ahead of him from himself to Bono, nearly 3.7 seconds, but now R straining nearly building that 1 second gap to himself and Bono, as Viper is sending it up the inside of Edgy, but not capitalizing on that exit. It looks like we have an incident in turn 1, and that is another VSC. Looks like Malik. Looks like he's trying to get on throttle on the curb, but wasn't successful and spun. The Vindosh Actually, no, Malcolm who had the incident with him. Yeah. Crazy 3 laps already. At this rate, we might miss Group 3. As DRS is finally enabled, as we go back to green flag racing. Looks like Wade's using his ERS, trying to catch back up to uh to the two Alfa Romeos, but honestly, that he shouldn't be using them. As it looks like we have another spin from Vindosh, so nearly a minute behind those back two. As going back to the front runners, a lot of these guys on the medium tires, but 4 of the drivers in the top 6 are on the hard tires, so they're really they're really thinking about the long term heading into this race with 24 laps remaining, barely on lap 4, as Malk has decided to come into the pits. Maybe retire? We don't know. As it looks like there's a 4-way fire behind. Sneaky Rob jostling for position with Viprise going wheel to wheel. Viprise going for the switchback, sending it, but not making the move stick. Capitalizing on that exit, but Ozan close behind to Alexis. As Speedy has retired, so our first safety car, who will come into pits? Looks like Fusible Orange will come into pit and put on those hard tires, but will they last? That is the question here. Will they last for those 20 laps though? Kendricks and Seabird have also elected to come in to the pits, putting on those hard compound tires. So a very chaotic first 5 laps already. As now majority of the field already catching up, but we're just waiting for Jimbo, Seabird, Malk, and Vindosh. Isis Vindoshishkipi. I don't know, I feel like I pronounced that wrong, even though I took Turkish. 3 laps to catch up. Hopefully we'll get going before those 3 laps, hopefully. So Group 3 might potentially be delayed. It looks like Ozan and Luke Tourette have decided to elect a pick since the safety car has come around for a second time. as Malcolm getting a 3-second side penalty. As looks like we'll go for one more lap. Actually, no, I lied. When will our shredding go? Already using the overtake. As he has decided to go, coming off the final corner. Wade's already wanting to make that move up the inside. Bono making contact with our shredding, touching his rear wing, allowing Waits to go through. So it is no longer a Alfa Romeo 1-2. Incredible shots of the cars going through the S's here at Circuit of the Americas. Wade's getting a lot of time here on our shredding in Sector 2. Will Waits be able to make this overtake before turn 11 as Vipers sending it up the inside but making the move stick? Small amount of contact. Sneaky Rub also following Viperize through. We have a big four-way fight here for jostling for position. Sneaky Rub sending it up the inside of Edgy. Still going wheel to wheel, so they're gonna lose a lot of time to the top three. Will Vipers be able to capitalize? Maybe, as it looks like we have a send here. Vipers still wanting to make a send on Edgy. Looks like he's opted to let him go for 17 and 18. Look like we have a spinner here. The coach has lost it 20 through 16, 17 and 18. But already a 2.8 second gap to the top three. Those three will start to run away sooner or later. So hopefully. Looks like Jimbo, Fusible Orange, Seabird, and Coach have all elected to pit. Most likely for wing damage. Our shredding going a little bit too much over the curbs, maybe. But a lot of time being gained on our shredding. Just looking from the gap coming down in Sector 2. But Wade's short shifting up into third, getting a good exit, but actually using his ERS. Will he make the move? Running on board, making the move before the braking zone. Lucking up a little bit from what it looks like. And that is Wade's currently in the lead at the moment. And now it is an Alfa Romeo 2-3. Looking at that gap between Sneaky Rob and Bono, currently 2.4 seconds. 2.5 actually. DRS has now been enabled. It looks like the two Mercedes running in formation, currently P6 and 7, hoping to go through and maybe gain a couple more positions before the end. Before the end of this first stint. Bono getting a 3-second time penalty from track limits. So potentially, that might be a big theme here today. With track limits has another driver, Luke Tourette, getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Looks like Sneaky Rob having DRS. Bono now sending it up inside, nearly making contact with his teammates. Looking back at Sneaky Rob, currently in P4. Going to 67, Arch Training getting a little, Bono getting a little bit loosey-goosey there, going through 17 and 18. So potentially maybe some not tire wear issues, but tire temperature issues. Maybe for Bono, as John Waits has also increased his gap to over a second here. Here at Circuit of the Americas. So it looks like those medium tires starting to drop off. For those who have been running them from the start, as Arch Training getting a 3-second time penalty. So really big factor here. And the two Alfa Romeos fighting now. Will Bono send it up the inside? No, he won't. But now jostling for positions. Sneaky Rob behind in P4, hoping to capitalize maybe on the two Alfa Romeos ahead fighting. Looks like Kendrick's getting the move done on Viprise for P6. On Alexis actually for P6. But Arch Training re-overtaking Bono. So hopefully, maybe some really good pace from Waits and potential championship contender already showing out his pace. Now going on to lap 11. The field's still closely together. As it looks like it's starting to become a 3-way fight now. Potential 4-way fight for Kendricks if he's able to keep up with Sneaky Rob. But EGR pole sitter now who started from P1 down to P6 as Viprise and Ozan both getting 3-second time penalties from track limits. As it looks like Sneaky Rob wanting to make the move on Bono, making it before the braking zone. Still going wheel to wheel. But will he make the move stick? Going around the outside. Small contact, Sneaky Rob making small amount of contact between Bono and Sneaky Rob. Both touching each other's tires, allowing Kendricks to go through up into a P3. Up into the podium position, sector 3. As Vindosh, potential safety car, yes it is! R Stranding diving into the pit lane. As well as Kendricks. But wait, still continuing on. Majority of the field who are on mediums. Majority of the field who have been on those mediums or hard tires have elected to come in. So whoever's going to put on the mediums is really going to help them out. As for the hards, it's really going to screw them over. As the hards over time do get better throughout the stint. Excuse me. We're not even halfway through the race yet, actually. So yeah, hopefully. So let's go and see our biggest movers now that we are under safety car. Kendricks, who started P19, now up into P2. Luke Toretto started P18 ahead of Kendricks. Currently P10. So Waits is still yet to make a pit stop here. Here at Circuit of the Americas. Majority of the field on looks like hard tires, since more than half the field did start on the medium tires, but for those select few who did start on the hard tires, this is a big advantage for them, hopefully, to take advantage of this opportunity and maybe gain some last minute positions maybe. From what it looks like, we will restart on lap 14, maybe 15 potentially. Crazy. Looks like we will have a lobby restart. Looks like we'll have a lobby restart here. So it looks like we'll have a lobby restart. Looks like, yeah, it looks like it is a lobby restart. I will stay in this lobby until I'm sent the invite to the next one. Oops, simply lovely. Lobby restart. Looks like we're gonna have a lobby restart. Apology about that. So, I don't even know what that was. It's like we're gonna have a lobby restart. So, see if I can get some invites out to help them out. Let's go ahead and see. Never mind, I don't have any of them added. Simply lovely, mates. Damn. I will be back in a quick sec, taking some more break. We are back. So, apologies on on my behalf of the league of Group 2 for this delay, and everyone that's watching. Who is the Group 3 driver? I apologize on my side since I am the one hosting, but apologies. As we are just again apologies. Apologies on behalf of the league for this delay. Currently, we should have most likely been done actually. Currently gonna go for another break. Life stuff really quick, but I will be back prior to the second race or the second half of the United States Grand Prix starts. Anyways, okay. We're back for part 2 of the United States Grand Prix. So, hopefully. And we are 5 red. Oh, actually, no, formation left. Formation left is. Now, currently on the formation lap. Mind th these grid spots were determined by the second safety car. So before everyone pit. So it looks like Ozan. It looks like Alexis having a little off there. As now everyone now is starting to reapproach the grid for the second time here today. Also, I'd like to report that Group 3 will not be streamed. So really unfortunate. But now focusing back onto Group 2. Looks like Speedy still getting into position. As it is a 5 red lights. And it is lights. And it is lights out, and away we go for part 2 of the United States Grand Prix. Arshani wanting to look up the inside, sending it up the inside. Waits, defending that position very aggressively. Arshani going a little bit out, going offline there. So Kendrick's up into P2. So Waits currently on the medium tires. Hopefully, maybe see Waits get his first win in LSR here today, here at Circuit of the Americas. Now approaching the back straight, heading towards turn 12. Kendrick's in the slipstream, but it is not enough to catch up to Waits, but a big battle here behind. Big jostle for position, going 3 wide temporarily there between Williams, the vacant, and the 2 Aston Martins there. And it looks like the coach, they're suffering in P17 back there. And the Husky down in P19 where he belongs. Simply lovely. With already a damaged front wing, or front right wing end plate. As Waits taking the fastest lap, 36.756. Looks like there is a... Oh, looks like there's been a bit of a spin here. Looks like that's all been resolved. Now looking towards the front of the pack. Going down the pack now, actually. Looks like it looks like Vacant now chasing both of the Aston Martins, currently sitting P10 and 11, hoping to get some points. Luke Touré getting 3-second time penalty already on lap 2, pushing those limits there already of the track. And Malik sending up the inside of Oza and his teammates. But Vacant wanting to go through here, and does end up going through. Purely off the top speed. Will Oza make the move on Luke to red? No, he won't. Not quite yet, but the move is starting to shape up though. Now looking towards up the field, looks like Bono has overtaken Edgy for P4. So currently a Alfa Romeo P3-4. So potentially Kendrick's with fastest lap 36.5 on those soft tires will need to make one more pit stop here. As it looks like we have a three-way fight for a P5 for P4, 5, and 6. And Viprize, maybe Alexis teammates might come through. But speaking of Alexis, get the 3-second time penalty for track limits, and Ozan as well getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Meaning those two are pushing the limits like crazy. And with the field being so close now, it will have a big effect on Alexis' race. Now Alexis having the DRS while sitting behind Edgy. Not enough to make the move. Nearly hitting the back of Edgy. But still managing to get the car stopped. Sending it up the inside of Edgy. Keeping it clean though. Speedy getting a 3-second time penalty because of track limits. Riding on board with Alexis. Still trying to keep the cars stable while in the dirty air of Edgy. Missing that apex there, so will get a poor exit off of this corner here. Still sitting behind Edgy. Hoping to go up into P4. Now approaching turn 11 now. So the top 7 are starting to break away while the rest of the field is closely still packed together. But now Alexis getting another DRS train. But right on board with Edgy, sending it up the inside, locking up the rear tires. Not able to make the move stick. Breaking too hard into there. Alexis taking advantage. Sending it up the inside of Edgy. And managing to go up into P5 for Mercedes. Mind, he will have the better tires near the end, since he is currently on those medium tires. Now Alexis hunting down our shredding. Will he make the move up into turn 1? Yes, he will. Making a new mistake, but our shredding coming back. Both going wheels to wheel here. But our shredding managing to get back his position. Right before the crucial S section, Alexis having to break there before our shredding get a little bit loose, taking too much curb. Actually, I believe that was Bono. I believe that was Bono. Not our striding, so. But Viper's now currently fighting Edgy for P6 at the moment. Having a lot more ERS, but Edgy will nearly start flashing here. Having only 18% ERS. So at some point, we will see a an overtake by Viper. Speaking of the overtake, Viper is sending it up the inside, making the move for 4, 17, and 18. So really good stuff from Viper. Is currently P4 and 6 for the two Mercedes. But Bono currently attempting to chase, but looks like our Shredding has elected to pit halfway on lap 5. Potentially trying to undercut on those medium tires, but Alexis will have those soft tires, those fresh and much newer and much better soft compound tires near the end of this final 14 lap shootout. As Vacant getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits, currently setting P8. But Bono still close together, still tagging along with Alexis. Cause see right on board with Bono, see if he closes down this gap. Massively closing that gap down by roughly 4/10, 2/10 actually, 2.5 to 3/10 maybe. He closed that gap by. So Bono really closing this gap down in sector 3 for going through 17 and 18. Waits both still breaking away at the moment. So these two still consistently staying together. Looks like Viprise and Ozan and Speedy's well have all elected to pit on lap 6. Waits wanting to make the move. Looks like those soft tires have already started to drop off actually. Since Waits was really getting that traction off turn 11 there. But having to not get on power so not that quick just purely because of Kendrick's. These two going wheel to wheel. And Waits making the move stick. Good stuff from Waits. Now hopefully he will be able to pull away and maybe pit roughly lap 9 roughly to get those medium tires. It's roughly lap 9. It looks like Waits and Kendricks have both decided to pit, actually. Alexis is not electing to pit just yet, going on to lap 8. The coach getting 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Majority of the field actually electing to pit here on lap 8 for roughly 6th lap, I believe. I don't know. But Bono and Alexis both still continuing on the medium tires, while Feasible Orange on those hard compound tires, who started at the back, now currently up into P3. Hoping those hard tires will come alive. Excuse me. Missing the apex there. And already starting to lose time to our straightening. Most likely, looks like Alexis and Bono and Fusible Orange might all pit this lap, from what it looks like. But ultimately, not sure. No, Alexis Alexis still going, and Bono pitting as well. And the Fusible Orange still continuing. And it looks like R Shredding and Fusible Orange going wheel to wheel, but R Shredding making the move stick. Now will we see a final? Actually, has Fusible Orange come into pit? No, he hasn't. So he's still yet to pit. So currently, provisionally, just add 1 position to everyone here. And 1 position, not counting the penalties quite yet. But Fusible Orange still yet to pit. So those hard tires, he will have to pit this lap and hopefully try and go for a last couple lap push on these final 4 laps that he'll have on those soft tires if he does end up pitting this lap, as Wade's making the move on Fusible Orange, and now all Waits has to do is chase down R Straightening. Fusible Orange still not pitting. I don't think he knows that he has to pit, but Wade's 35.5 fastest lap at the moment, approaching in these final 4 laps. Kendrick's getting past Feasible Orange on the straight, but not has less than half of the ERS that Feasible Orange does. Vindo's getting a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Yellow flag sector 3, looks like Husky has spun it again. Simply lovely, mate. Get good, mate. Right now, what are we with Waits here on this back straight, attempting to hunt down R Straining, not using his ERS, so it looks like he wants to save it for the final lap to potentially try and go for a last lap move. Going a little bit wide there, missing the apex, and wanting to make the move up the inside of 17 and 18. Will he make the move stick around the outside? Yes, he will! Waits making the move around the outside of turn 19. Incredible move from Waits to take the lead of the United States Grand Prix. That is what you call risk taker there. Waits taking the risk and making the risk work. Really good stuff from Waits. Stegan Rob had decided to retire in that Ferrari. Arch Trading getting in 3 seconds. So if Arch Trading can build this gap to Kendricks, Arch Trading will need to build this gap to Kendricks if he wants to retain this podium. So really crucial final couple of laps here for Alex is now currently hunting down Kendricks as there is a big fight back here. 4 or 5-way fight potentially. A 5-way fight here. Edgy going up into P5, Bono in P6, Viprex P7, Feasible Orange P8, Vacant 9th, and Ozan 10th. So a 5-way fight here in these final 2 laps of racing. Vega going a little bit wider there, Ozan going past. So hopefully Vindosh getting 3-second time penalty. Looks like Feasible Orange sending it up the inside of Ozan. But reminder, he still needs to pit. So he will get a DSQ for not using the tire compounds. Bono getting a 3-second time penalty. So big a lot of work that will need to be done by these 2 Alfa Romeos to get past, running on board with Kendricks on the back straight, using all of his ERS, currently flashing. But Arch Trading now currently flashing. Now Kendricks has used all his ERS at his disposal. The real question is, will he be able to keep Arch Trading behind? If Arch Trading is able to get past and build that gap with these next 2 laps, then that's going to be a podium for Arch Trading if he's able to. Feasible Orange getting a 3-second time penalty as we are now on the penultimate lap. All Waits has to do is keep it clean and not get any penalties here. And if he does that for his next 2 laps, he will earn his first win here in LSR Group 2 of Season 6, and he will be our championship leader. Now going back to this big group here, fighting for points. Edgy's trying to chase down Bono for a P5, but at the moment, Edgy will be able to get that P5 all the way down to Vacant. 1.1. 2.2. Yeah, he will go down to P9 at the moment if he's able to if it keeps this gap relatively the same, but Feasible Orange still fighting there for P9 for these final placed points here. So hopefully we'll see a final lap finish as we're now on the final lap of the United States Grand Prix. Waits now approaching turn 1, Big Red, for the final time today. As Feasible Orange has retired. Let's go ahead and run away with Milk. See if he's... Ooh, that was a bit of a scare there, I'm not gonna lie. So both Aston Martins will get points if they retain this gap. But now Alexis fighting for this final podium position on his final lap. Look, he's waiting for this back straight. He will get the DRS. So that is game over for our Shining. So he will lose his podium position. Alexis using all of his ERS on this straight here, plus the DRS. But our Shining still keeping up. But currently, I think Edgy will be getting the podium here. If my maths are correct. So Alexis able to hold off. Alexis, our Shining, but coming across the line, waits. Taking his first win of LSR Group 2 Season 6 as Waits wins the United States Grand Prix here in Austin, Texas. But Alexis taking the podium position. Let's go ahead and see these this final couple of laps. Will coach send it up inside of Seabird? Tempting. Yes, he will. Big incidents. Not losing positions though. But yeah. As Waits becomes our first winner of this season. As Waits taking his first win here of LSR, I believe, if I recall. Our first, actually not our first Frenchman to win in Group 2. But for our first Frenchman to win in a while here in Group 2. Actually in LSR actually, so good stuff. So actually, let me check something real quick. That's okay. So here's your finishing order, or your provisional finishing order regarding any incidents. Incident reports yet to be filed. Waits with the win. Kendricks in P2. Alexis in P3. Arshredding P4. Edgy P5. Bono P6. Here's your finishing grid. Anyways, that is it from me. It is Zercity out. Just gonna show these results for one final couple of seconds. Wait for this thing to flash. Hurry up. Alright, bet. I'm out of here. Hasta la vista.